Please welcome Randy Matthews.
Look at you now, girl. See that same fire used to burn brighter. Stars in July. Still get those feelings. Thinking back on those days. Still had the passion. Don't feel the flame. Hold me like we belong to each other. Two high school lovers on the night we first met. Travel the world, but our passports expired, and our plans have flown further. So haven't seen Paris, haven't seen Rome, but I had my own reasons. Pack up and go. Hold me like we belong to each other. Two high school lovers on the night we first met. Tell me how we lay nights together, life in full color, two silhouettes. You call me crazy, nice girl, maybe. Figure this out. It's been a long time since we've seen the sunshine. Sing it out loud, baby, baby, baby. Hold me like we belong to each other. Two high school lovers on the night we first met. Tell me how we lay nights together, life in full color, two silhouettes. Lay nights together, life in full color, two silhouettes.
Hey folks, this is Sam Roberts.
Hey, this is Kim Mitchell.
This is Hannah Georges.
This is Matt Mee.
This is Derry Grant from Honeymoon Suite, and you are listening to
You're listening to
And you're listening to
the Hulk Caesar Show.
Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show. I am your host, Hulk Caesar. With me tonight is my illustrious co-host, Newfoundland songbird, Emily Molloy. Emily, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
A big thank you to Randy Matthews for kicking off the program. We'll have some more from him a little bit later on. First up this week, we're joined by someone who manages to juggle journalism, editing, podcasting, writing books, and he still finds some time to sleep. He's a lawyer and a journalist right here in St. John's, and he's been with All Newfoundland and Labrador News since 2015, becoming the editor of the website in 2019. Late last year, he released his first book, Dangerously Close to Contempt, a deep dive into the life of journalist, agitator, and draft dodger Roger Bill, who also happens to be our guest's father. And if that wasn't enough, he wrapped up the year by launching a brand new politics and culture podcast, The Honourable The Hack, alongside former provincial cabinet minister Andrew Parsons. Alex, Bill, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been a fan for a while and have a ton of respect for what you're doing here, having started to try to do something similar myself in a small market where it's not super easy.
Well, thank you so much. You're already becoming our favorite guest just by saying that.
Alex, you've got a lot on the go. Editing a major publication, a new podcast, a new book, and a young family. What does a normal day even look like for you right now?
Yeah, so it varies every day. I joke with people that my hobbies used to be playing sports and drinking, and
Good hobbies.
yeah, well, and 2 ACL tears and getting sober has opened up a little bit more time. The day job comes first, and the day job can be a night job. But for that reason, I get a little time off here and there, and I've kind of filled that with other pursuits where I can. And so far, it's been balanced out pretty well. My 8-month-old has cooperated as best
Wow.
she can. Yeah, and you find time in the evening, you find time in the weekend. Your vacations are sometimes not totally vacations, but you only have so many opportunities to kind of pursue passion projects in life, and sometimes you have to grab them when you can. And the timing was right for a couple that just happened to be kind of close together, and I'm grateful that I've been able to pull it off so far.
Perfect.
Well, writing Dangerously Close to Contempt meant turning a real kind of deeply personal family story into a public record. How did you kind of decide what stayed private and what went in the book?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate that both my parents are journalists, and I kind of grew up with a certain understanding about news. And,
Who did your parents report for?
yeah, so both CBC for most of their careers. My father had kind of bounced around a few different places. He owned the alternative magazine Current in St. John's when he was in his 60s.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So he had his own company, and he was doing work for Discovery Global, that sort of thing. Mom was kind of solely with CBC for her career. And that probably allowed me a little bit more freedom to get into the kind of detail that to do a proper biography you need to do. There are a few touchy points. My mom is still rather ambiguous about the whole thing. Or ambivalent,
The
I
moms
should say.
always take it the worst, I think.
It's a tough thing to do. When I first brought it up with my father, he said it would be better to do after he died. And maybe that's true, but it would have been a lot harder. So we forged ahead, and reaction's been really good. It's a niche kind of thing, and he's not a household name, but there aren't many Vietnam War draft dodgers who settled in Newfoundland, hardly any who stayed. And then to have the kind of career he did, courting court trouble as a journalist, getting to do international work, like being at Tiananmen Square, Gulf War, conflicts in Haiti and India and stuff, and then coming back here and getting little kind of stir crazy and having passion projects of his own to pursue that continued to be kind of just a agitator stirring the pot into his 60s, 70s, and to the degree he's still at it now into his 80s. And I just thought that was an untold story that was a compelling narrative on its own. And through his career as a journalist, my publisher compared it to Forrest Gump. There's also like touching little details of global or national or provincial significance that he was only a small player in, but had a perspective on that also can be weaved into that narrative as well to make the book compelling. And
So cool.
that's the pitch anyway.
Nice.
Does your dad, do you know anyone else here in Newfoundland now that came here from the Vietnam War or
Yeah,
avoided the
so-
Vietnam War?
One of the interesting parts, the research for the book, was discovering how many people thought other people were draft dodgers who weren't. And I think there's a romanticism built up around Vietnam, and the draft dodgers came to Canada. And there was a lot of them, but the overwhelming majority went to Vancouver and Toronto.
There's a lot. I lived in Vancouver for a long time. A lot in Vancouver Island.
Yeah, and that's where my father started. He went to Vancouver and he slowly moved east. The amount that came to Newfoundland was really, really low. I connected with a bunch of them who did, most of whom didn't stay. And then I connected with a lot of people who somebody said, this person's a draft dodger, or that person's a draft dodger. I talked to one guy who thought his own father was a draft dodger and was disabused of the notion after he asked his mother. And he had thought that for, I don't know, his whole life or something. Because his father was American and he came. And maybe if he was drafted, he would have refused to fight. He just wasn't drafted.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people get lumped in that way. And so we think there are more here than there really were. The real number is quite low. I mean, Roger, my father, might be the only one left. Very likely is. Might be the only one who can really say he stayed for his whole life.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So interesting. You run a newsroom, but intentionally stay off social media.
Yeah. And it's been an interesting kind of thing doing the podcast where I'm putting myself out there in a more public way.
Yeah.
Years ago, I ran into somebody we were covering at allNewfoundland, and he talked about finding the site himself. And he said, yeah, my friends called me up and said, hey, have you heard of the secret news website? And not exactly the vibe we're going for. We sell subscriptions, we sell advertising, but it's a pretty rigid paywall. There's nothing content-wise shared on social media. Even before the Facebook news ban, it just wasn't how we do business.
Everybody at my work reads it.
Yeah, and if you try and screenshot, it says screenshot detected.
I love that.
Copy paste. The content protection is a lot, and so even though we have a pretty large number of subscribers, I think we'd be right there with the Telegram. It isn't shared the same way, and it doesn't become a household name the same way. And especially we've been here 10 years, not 100.
Which is kind of the purpose of it, I guess. It is meant to be for subscribers. So
yeah, and you want them to gossip, tell people where they heard about it, and then that person say, damn, I can't get this anywhere, I better subscribe.
I do find there's lots. I read it now because we have it at work, and I do find there's lots of stories on there that stuff I would never ever have heard of.
Really?
Yeah, we put out a lot of content. We have 7 reporters in an office downtown. We have sister sites in 4 other provinces, and we kind of work closely with them. So we're putting out, I don't know, 60, 70 stories a week.
Wow.
It varies, but it's a busy newsroom.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, when you're covering business news in a tight-knit place like St. John's, what's the hardest line to kind of walk as an editor?
There's a few. It is a tight-knit place. It's a small place, so relationships matter. And you're often dealing with people, and certain industries are worse than others, that they want to control the narrative, and I respect that. But we're the writers, we're doing it. But they use language like, we'll work with you about something. We really want this to be a productive relationship, and it's really,
that's how we talk. But we're a fluff show. We're not news.
and it's like tough sometimes because you got to be like, well, that's great, but the story's coming out tonight, or like, okay, you don't want to comment. That's totally fine. People tell us no all the time. We don't take it personal, but the story's coming out tonight. And you have to be prepared to disappoint people all the time, even for good news stories. Often for good news stories, because they want to release it on their schedule or they want to put it out on their social media at a certain time. That's if we said yes every time somebody did that, it would be a lot harder for us to make a living doing it.
For sure.
No doubt. All right. Well, after the break, we'll chat with Alex about his new podcast, The Honourable and The Hack. First, from her appearance on Under the Covers last year, it's Kathy Stock with her version of the James Taylor classic Fire and Rain on the Hulk Caesar Show.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you weren't gone. Suzanne and the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning, wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I always thought that I'd see you again. always thought that I'd see you again. I always thought I'd see you again. I always thought I'd see you again.
We are back on the Hulk Caesar Show with tonight's guest, Alex Bill, from the brand new podcast, The Honourable and The Hack. Can you tell us how it came to be?
Yeah. So in writing the book, I started thinking a little bit more about other passion projects and things I like to do. And, you know, my father was in radio his whole career, and I was thinking podcasts are the new radio. And maybe someday I'd like to do something, maybe a serial kind of thing. And I'm still kind of thinking about that. Although if I started another project now, my wife would have a divorce lawyer pretty quickly. But, you know, that thought was in my mind. And Andrew approached me. He had recently retired as a politician and had some more time on his hands. And he had been thinking about something like this for a while. And at first he thought he would just do his own thing and have me on as an early guest. But he changed his mind and said, would you like to do it with me? And so the timing was right. I wanted to kind of explore audio and video production of my own. He had this idea. Between us, we kind of represent different sides of the same coin in politics, and have a lot of connections and people we can approach to bring on, and kind of perspectives and experience that are similar but different enough. Yeah, so we got started, several months of planning. His brother is our producer, and he's got experience through a YouTube channel of his own that has great numbers, doing cruise ship reviews and
wow.
stuff. Yeah. And
I love when people find niches like that and get popular on YouTube. It's
I
like,
fall down rabbit holes of cruise ship tours and all of that all the
well,
time.
watch Chris's show. It's you'll learn a lot more about cruises than you've ever known before. So it took some planning, it took some organizing. The technical side is a big learning curve. You know, my lighting is still not great. The audio is getting better.
our lighting's not great.
And better than mine. But we've grown it, you know, and it hasn't even been out a month yet. And we've had 6 episodes out. We've tried and keep a roster of a couple floating, which makes it a challenge to be topical when you're talking about politics. But you also need to have kind of a reserve of content to meet a consistent schedule.
For sure.
All of which you guys probably
We just
well
bleed.
aware of.
We just bleed it out. We don't bank anything. We just put stuff out constantly. As soon as it's done, it's like, just put it out.
Yeah. Give it to the people.
Yeah, and so it's a new kind of venture for both of us. The reaction has been good. The numbers have been good. You know, I don't know. I know what the YouTube numbers are, but combined, I think like some of these episodes are broken, you know, 1,000.
Nice.
The David Cochran one is probably more like the 1,500 to 2,000 range.
Awesome.
And, you know, you got to grow it from there. We got to try and touch some national audience, bring in as broad of a range of interests as you can, because it's not a big market. We'll have some people from the world of sports and culture and arts and entertainment come on in the next couple of weeks, in fact.
Nice.
Because while politics will be our bread and butter, and I think we really want to get sort of that inside baseball, long form, some biographical stuff, but a perspective on politics that you're not going to get on the news, including All Newfoundland, that you're going to get because we have that perspective and can kind of lift the veil a little bit to show people what it's really like on the inside, whether that's, you know, how relationships work in a way that you don't see in the news, give and take compromises, which is a huge part of politics, organizing, campaigning, all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's been fun. I enjoy doing it. There's been some late night interviews, a few weekend morning ones, which taught me a little bit more about lighting. And Andrew's been great to work with.
We've done a lot of down at Posey Row when we were down above Posey Row in our Hot for the Moment studios. A lot of recording when the sun's going down and seeing it all change around
all the
you.
shadows move.
Yeah, I have some blankets on my walls that I didn't before.
Yeah, makes sense.
What are some of the early challenges you have faced in the podcasting world?
Yeah, there hasn't been much so far. The technical stuff, like I said, is a bit of a learning curve, but we've set a floor and it's only going up from there. For me, working at a news website where, it's subscription based, people are only engaged if they really want it, to being kind of out there and you can get all sorts of types of responses from all sorts of types of people, which a lot of other journalists are used to, and a lot of politicians, certainly Andrew's used to.
Yeah.
The kind of internet trolling, crazy people has been a new one for me.
Wait a minute, crazy people on the internet.
Trolling.
I got a phone call from one guy who
God.
thought, David Cochran was some kind of criminal, and it was criminal for us to have interviewed him. And my baby's making noise in the background, and he goes, "Oh, is that?" And she says her name, and I'm like, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I didn't let it show. But there haven't been too many challenges yet. It's a balancing act between having a full-time job and doing this. And I don't think anybody in this province can do podcasting as their full-time job. So it's a balancing act for all of us. But it hasn't been too challenging, thankfully.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Good.
Well, I kind of wear the producer's hat as well when we're here recording our show, and it can be a little hectic. As an editor, after the record is hit, do you kind of feel like you're trying to shape the conversation, or are you kind of just a participant as it flows?
Yeah, the editing process, Chris really takes care of it. We don't script things, and that was part of the learning curve too, is finding out how much you want to have a run of show planned, loosely scripted. And I think we've got a pretty good setup now.
We're talking heads. We got to have it written down, or we just stare blankly at the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, and learning how to throw from one to the other so that it's not one-sided, timing, all that sort of stuff. That was certain things you got to learn about too. I guess one of the challenges and a bigger part of the learning curve is like promotion, like getting those clips out there, trailers. Just
There's only so much time. Like, that's one of our problems, I think, is that we spend so much time making the show and then releasing it, and then we work, and then the next week comes and you do another show. So we don't do a lot of promotion because we just don't really have a lot of time to put it together,
Yeah, 100%. That's the same for us, and it's not something I have experienced. And even at All Newfoundland, the stories kind of sell themselves, and people do it through word of mouth. And we like to say that the podcast is doing the same thing, and the guests will promote it themselves and through their own channels, and that's quite helpful too.
Yeah.
So, but that side of it is something that we'd like to improve as well. But that's a challenge.
For sure. In a media landscape that's noisy and fast, what do you think makes someone actually stay with a podcast episode to the end?
Yeah, good question. And I'm not sure I know the answer yet because I've only just started doing it.
When you do figure it out, let us know.
Yeah.
do you have the answer?
I think for us, we try and strike a great balance with our guests of being biographical, but also topical and sometimes thematic. We had Eugene Manning on recently. He's the progressive conservative leadership candidate, been involved in the party for a long time, and we got into his history. We got into a little bit about what's going on in politics today, and then we had sort of a gimmick, like three things about the progressive conservatives here versus the federal conservatives, what one can learn from the other, something like that. And I thought that was the right balance, and we try and strike that each time because having that mix of things gives a little something for everybody and keeps people interested until the end. If it's going to be purely biographical, then somebody who's interested in what's going on today might not be into it. If it's all about the news today, maybe they won't be as engaged in who this guest is, what their story is. So, Andrew and I try and strike that balance, and we hope that's what keeps people listening till the end.
Perfect.
Great. Well, Alex, Bill, thank you so much for joining us. Where can folks find your projects on the information superhighway? Yeah,
so the Honourable The Hack. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, allNewfoundlandLabrador.com, subscription-based, but, type that in, you'll find it. And you can buy Dangerously Close to Contempt in bookstores in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Tonight's music guest is a Newfoundland singer-songwriter whose sound lives comfortably between country and Americana. He's got a brand new single out called Driving Alone, and he's gearing up for a Chris Stapleton tribute at the Majestic Theatre on May 21st and 22nd. Randy Matthews, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Randy, can you tell us a little bit about the amazing song you kicked off the show with?
Well, the first song I started the show with is called Silhouettes, and I wrote that with Stephen Green.
Nice.
And that was one of the first songs that I wrote. Well, that was the first song I wrote with him. But there was a long period where I never wrote music for a while, and that was the first one that kind of got me back into it.
No way.
And so, yeah, me and him wrote that song. We wrote a few, actually, kind of back to back. We went and got together, and almost every time we got together, we made a song. So
Wow.
that was kind of cool.
Amazing.
That's a dream.
Yeah, so, but that song's actually taken me a lot of places, really. It's given me a lot of opportunity. I would say that during COVID, that was probably one of the songs that kind of helped push my music around a little bit.
Love it.
I used to do a weekly show, Saturday Shed Sessions. I don't know if you know that show. And every so often, I would bring a new song onto the show. But that song every week would be requested, and I think everybody was waiting to see, is he going to mess up that note at the end? You know, like, pretty sure he's going to mess it up this week. And so there was times. But that song, I think, was I was listening to a lot of Chris Stapleton and Jason Isbell at the time, and yeah, it just came out of the universe, I think.
Awesome.
We worked
Very,
hard
very
on
beautiful.
it, but it did
Yeah.
also come pretty naturally.
I can hear the Chris Stapleton influence for sure. Your range is incredible,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
I told that quite often about the Chris Stapleton thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm doing it. Not just, well, when Chris Stapleton came out, his music was the first bit of music that I felt like, well, that's kind of what I've been aiming
what
for.
it
Like
is.
I'm kind of been doing that, and
Yeah.
I'm already writing music in that same texture and that same genre.
Exactly.
But no one else was out blaring, singing like that really loudly.
Yeah.
And when he started doing that, and Luke Combs also when he came out,
Yep.
I was like, man, that makes me pretty comfortable.
I feel like that's such a big thing. I don't know if it's a Newfoundlander thing, but even when I started singing, it was like people were like, "Why are you so loud? Why are you screaming? You can't sing that quieter." And it's actually that, like, being able to project like that is actually so powerful. Like, I think that's the most beautiful part of your singing is like, yeah, absolutely.
The hardest part, I think, ever is like, I think I could always kind of sing like with range.
Yeah.
But you got to control that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's one thing to have something, but if it's going crazy, you got
You got to be able to dial it in a
to dial
little.
that in.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it was
so, yeah,
beautiful.
That's
Awesome. What do you have for us next?
this next one's Driving Alone.
Amazing.
Yeah. Which I also wrote with Stephen Green.
Nice.
3 of these songs that I'm going to do for you guys I wrote with Stephen,
Amazing.
coincidentally.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this one I kind of got to in a different way. It was purely through me learning to engineer music and learning to play with a metronome with drums. I'm not a drummer, but I wanted to learn to mic up drums
Believe
so
I
when
believe
the
it.
guys come over, we could be ready to go, you know?
I believe a drummer that you work with works at my job, Jeff.
Jeff, oh
Yeah.
my God. Jeff is the best. Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd have him on everything all the time. But when you're working at home, a lot of times you got to find a way to proceed. Like, you know, I'm working at music and I'm pushing at music as my focus. And so through that focus, I've been trying different skills and seeing what I can do. And through that, through error, I guess you could say, I wrote Driving Alone. I remember I set a metronome kind of thing. I was like, I'm going to go over and make a beat kind of thing. And I did that, and I came over and I made a little guitar thing to it. And then I came over and pulled up the mic, and the first line of the song just came just like that. And it was like born.
Nice.
And I sent it to Steven, and he like understood exactly where I was going with it. And I was telling him my inspiration behind it, and he helped me like piece it together lyrically.
Cool.
Awesome.
And this feeling of driving alone, should be keeping my eyes on the road. But I'm lost in desperado, playing on my radio. Oh, oh, oh. Ain't nothing but the lines on the highway. You can't recognize wearing highway. You were here, you so high. Ready woman yesterday and free bird, singing loud to full moon fever. You were here, had your shotgun here tonight. Whoa, I know you're up there shining down on the soul bed. Whoa, you're singing along to the songs on the radio. Whoa, my heart is feeling heavy like it's ready to explode. I ain't used to driving alone. Driving alone. Driving alone. Driving alone.
Amazing.
That was based on a true story, that one, so which is kind of cool. Yeah.
What's the story? What's the story behind that one?
Well, it's funny. It's like it was kind of two stories at once, kind of pulling together two different couples that I was pulling from, kind of what they had been through, what they're dealing with, and just since then, I think a lot of people and a lot of situations, this song has been like, yeah, it kind of fits that situation, or this fits that situation. And I think it just came out that way. And but I definitely had some people in mind when I was working on it. So yeah, which is kind of different for me because sometimes, not to say my songs are sometimes bull, but I mean like it's poetry in a way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you know, like you're taking inspiration from everywhere. You're taking phrasing that people are saying, mm-hmm. and just twisting it and doing all kinds of stuff. But I don't know, when it comes out as a true event, or not necessarily the event that you're featuring in the song, but the inspiration is there. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know?
So talented.
So
Love
talented.
it. Love it. Love it.
Oh, quit it. You're talented too. She's a singer-songwriter.
She's amazing. Newfoundland songbird.
Absolutely.
Country and Americana both lean heavily on story. Who are the artists that taught you how powerful a simple, honest song can be?
Well, I would say my uncle.
Okay, nice.
He wrote some pretty cool, simplistic songs that I thought were pretty effective.
Hmm. Music in your life a lot when you were a child?
He actually taught me to write music. He was the first guy that actually showed me that this is a thing that you could do.
That is so cool.
It was something that he did and kept to himself. And yeah, he kind of shared that with me all the time. So I was very fortunate. Yeah.
Wow.
But he never like, you know, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter or anything like that.
Oh.
He worked a normal job and had a...
That was his hobby.
Yeah. So, yeah, he taught me that. Yeah, I would say simplistic lyrics would be sometimes Johnny Cash. Some of his lyrics were really simple and cut
Cool
and dry.
stories, too. And he definitely pulled inspiration from other people.
Oh, man.
Because he wasn't a boy named Sue.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
No, I mean, that's Shel Silverstein that wrote that. Mm-hmm. Not to geek out.
Old Shel. He wrote a lot of stuff.
Shel Silverstein wrote so many songs.
Yeah.
Shel Silverstein?
Shel Silverstein wrote children's books like crazy.
Yeah.
I have all of his poetry books.
Really? Okay, so like he wrote all of Dr. Hook's big songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
A Boy Named Sue he wrote.
My brain just exploded.
Yeah, he's written quite a bit.
Yeah, he's written a couple. I can't bring to mind now, but he's definitely written some big songs.
I feel like he did something for Waylon Jennings too.
Yeah.
I feel like I just stepped into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Shell's.
There's the Google hole for you to get in later.
Yeah, no, that's one to
excited.
dig into. You're like, what? Yeah.
My whole evening is planned.
Yeah, and Waylon Jennings, I wouldn't say necessarily his lyric writing, but his projection, how he delivered his lyrics,
Yeah.
was something I would say in the same light. Yeah.
Very cool.
You got the Chris Stapleton tribute show coming up at the Majestic. What makes Stapleton such a fun and challenging artist to pay tribute to?
It's a thrill to actually sing music where I can go full cylinders.
Yeah.
I get to play guitar to probably the best of my ability anyway. I wouldn't say I'm a decorative guitar player by any means or fancy, but his type of guitar playing is really bluesy. It's got this roughness to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, just everything I've always kind of played on guitar, like it always felt like I was kind of jiving along with it. And the same goes with singing. It really, like, some of his songs when you're singing it, like Arkansas, when I'm doing that with my band, man, it's just like feels like it's flying out of me.
Who's your band for the show?
Jeff Osmond on drums, Patty Byrne on bass, Chris Feener's playing rhythm and some leads.
Nice.
Kathy Stock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's on the keys.
Yeah,
Carla Pilgrim.
Oh, excellent.
And Lucas Rose. Yeah, sorry. I
Amazing.
brain fart there for a
All-star
second.
lineup.
Oh, my God. And Lucas Rose on... I'll stop for a second because I keep calling him Lucas, but he goes by Luke, I think. But he plays pedal steel, and that is the coolest addition.
Nice.
As far as like any instruments that'll raise the hairs on you,
Yeah.
that is the one, and that's the guy. Yeah,
Cool.
really, really good.
Super cool.
That and bagpipes. You hear steel guitar, bagpipes. I'm just immediately like, oh, so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, just like accordion.
Yeah. Streaming has changed the game for artists. How do Spotify and Apple factor into how you release music and build an audience now?
I would say as a new artist, it don't really change a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because if anything, I've changed my viewpoint on it over the last couple of years. You get a lot of opinions from a lot of people, and a lot of people say that you can't make a living at it, and you can't do this, you can't do that. But there's so many avenues that you can go down that, like back in the day, if you had to do the same to get the same level of reach,
Yeah.
you're really hitting the road. You're really actually going out. You're doing the hard work.
Yeah, you're
right?
out there.
So I mean, if you really every situation put yourself in your mind that, hey, you can force it out to do a bit of extra work on this computer now, and just share yourself a bit extra and push yourself a bit more. Maybe do a bit more graphics and put yourself on as many outlets and platforms as possible. Really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just keep pushing because like it all stacks up over time.
Yeah.
It's like, although it was like a really slow start, I have nothing to brag about when it comes to streaming numbers, but I watched them and they're organic.
Yeah.
And I can see where people are listening from, and it actually tells me specifically like which cities and how many listens and whatever. So if someone's in Port Bass and they're listening to me, I know they're not because it's not showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it would be there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody says they listen to our show, but
That's why-
then I see the numbers and I'm like, I don't know.
When,
no.
when were you listening
I should
to
register against
it?
Corner Brook, which I do get Corner Brook quite a bit.
Cool, cool.
But I guess my point is that that's data that one time
You wouldn't have access
you
to
die
it.
for that
Gold,
information.
right? Like the American companies spend millions of dollars to get that stuff.
Right? It's like, you know your demographic, you know where you're being listened to, you know if they're actually staying there or not. So I mean, that would tell you whether you're doing a good job or not with
Yeah.
the music, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's your job to keep them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also your job to try to get out there too, but it's a luck thing for sure.
Yeah.
I really think it's purely luck, but the harder you work, the luckier.
Yeah, I think it's a mix.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, I
one
mean, you
leads
work
the
hard
other.
Put in the work.
if you like. If you just keep at it, it's just like say it stacks up, and you do see a difference. Like so, say the very first release I didn't really see anything. I was like, whoa! So like this goes nowhere. It's not even organic. It's not even. I know I had more people listening to me than this because like they come to shows all the time, and I got a live audience quite a bit. So it's just a matter of finding the gap and closing it between the. You got to promote yourself. You got to tell people, hey, I'm on Spotify. Hey, I'm on Apple.
Yeah.
And you got to be
And most
consistent.
people don't.
Yeah.
They don't. And I think a lot of people that listen don't really realize that a lot of local artists are even on there. They're like, you're on Spotify or you're on Apple, as if it's a big deal. It's like, well, yeah, anyone could be on there.
I put myself on there.
Anyone could do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, maintaining and staying there is the other thing, I guess.
It is. That's the tough part for sure.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah.
And I think people like Jason Isbell proved that.
Yeah.
You know, he was organic.
Yeah.
He pushed at it. He worked really hard, and when he did take off, people looked back at his previous catalog.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my God, this is the best songwriter in the world."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's patience, I guess, is one thing. But to me, like the live entertainment part of it is what I enjoy a lot as well as the recording and doing all that other stuff. And that's what actually keeps me into music, doing it, right? Like I'm a performer. So to me, if my recording music takes off as well, it's kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just my outlook on it.
Amazing.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, we have time for one more song live at Caesar's Palace on the Boulevard, high above the mighty Quidi Vidi Lake. Randy Matthews, what do you have for us?
Yeah. So just don't give a damn. Been running through my memories year by year, looking back on each trip to France song. You spent too much time going that old company line. These days I'm looking out number one. I don't give a damn what people say. Gonna live my life wherever I want, feet up in the shade. I'll pick up that old guitar now, I'm gonna play what I want to play. I don't give a damn what people say. Simple things in life don't come too easy. Best things that I found ain't made of gold. Gave up chasing down high approval. Gotta do my thing before I get too old. I don't give a damn what people say. Gonna live my life wherever I wanna, keep my feet up in the shade. When I pick up that old guitar now, I'm gonna play what I wanna play. I don't give a damn what people say. Sick and tired of old song television. Saw circus clowns, corporate you know who's. Blame the poor, we're playing the immigration. Locking down to us like we're all damn fools. I don't give a damn what people say. Gonna live my life wherever I want, feet up in the shade. I'll pick up that old guitar now, I'm gonna play what I wanna play. I don't give a damn what people say. I don't give a damn what people say. I don't give a damn what people say.
That was sick.
That's an awesome song.
Thank you.
That's an original as well.
That's an original.
Wow.
Love
Don't
it.
give a damn.
So cool.
I was listening to a lot of Sturgill Simpson at the
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wicked. So good. Thank you so much for the amazing performances.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Where can folks find you on the World Wide Webs?
The best place to find me is on my website. That is www.randymatthewsmusic.com. My email address is randymatthewsmusic@gmail.com for any inquiries. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, any of the social media to follow. But the main thing to follow is to go on Spotify and Apple and actually hit follow under the artist. And if you can, add it to a playlist, any song that you see that you like, and share with a friend.
We should start a playlist for the
Love
show,
that.
and then
We
put all the
should.
people who come on the show, put on the playlist.
That's what we've been.
Looks like I know what I'm doing this week.
We'll start that. We'll start that right now.
Live shows and
and
filter
the
that through and cycle.
Yeah.
I believe that the recordings we had here tonight put our collection of private songs over 200
No way.
by local artists. I have a very large. Everybody's played on the show, of course.
Man, that's
I cut the MP3s and put them on my phone, so pretty much all I listen to is music from the show.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, well, it's now time to play everybody's favorite question game, Hulk's Half Sentences. Now, I filled the commemorative E.T. the Extraterrestrial hat with sentence prompts provided me by the AI. This is only the third or fourth time now we've done this new word game. The first sets of questions the AI gave me, I wasn't super into them. They were kind of repetitive and kind of a bit too, wishy-washy. So I went back to the AI and I wanted some stuff. I said, give me something weird, give me something fun, give me something everybody can give a different answer to. I printed them up. I pepper sprayed myself so I couldn't read them, and then I chopped them all up and put them in the hat. So you draw one from the hat. If you like it, you read it aloud. Finish the sentence. We'll all finish the sentence. If you don't like it, you can throw it on the ground and pick a new one. So if you want to go ahead and grab the hat there.
So we have to finish the sentence.
Finish the sentence.
Okay.
So I read and
You read it and you answer, and you finish the sentence, and then we'll all quickly finish the sentence.
Okay. All right.
if you could instantly be amazing at one random skill, it would be definitely belting out the tunes over there like Randy.
Yeah.
Nice. A skill. Not being a procrastinator. Is that a skill?
Yeah, being efficient.
Being efficient. We'll go with that.
Oh my God. I wish my skill could be to learn to take time off work.
Yeah.
Be nice.
I'm really good at that.
Is being rich a skill?
Is there a skill to steer yourself from your interest? I would say a new skill that I would like to learn.
Or you master at. Or you instantly be a master.
Well, right now I'm building guitar cabinets and amps and stuff like that. So probably something like that. I wish I was a little bit more in that lane of mastery, but working on it.
Excellent.
Cool.
I would also, I'm gonna go with what you said over there. I'd also like to be able to sing like Randy over there. Pretty amazing. I always want to be able to sing and go out on stage and
You can sing.
do the Ziggy Stardust thing and prance around and cock the walk, the whole thing.
I've heard you sing. You're a great singer.
Thank you.
My problem is I can sing, but I can't walk.
I'm the other way around. I can't sing at all, but I'll go up and do karaoke, try and make up for it with stage presence.
Emily?
I was going to say. Okay, I can't look because that's cheating.
Only I cheat.
The most elite pizza topping is, I'm going to say, feta cheese.
Ooh. Randy.
Through recent experience, I will say banana peppers.
Alex?
Okay, it's not the most elite, but has anybody had corn on pizza?
Oh, yeah. Corn's
I've
good
heard
on
of it.
pizza.
I haven't had it, but I've heard of it.
Like, I don't like pineapple on pizza. Too sweet. Corn is just like a little sweet. It has a little pop. The texture works with everything else. Try it sometime.
Nice.
Very nice. There was a pizza shop in Vancouver that sold potato pizza. And it had like little cube baked or fried potato on it. And it was delicious. Delicious. Potato on a pizza.
I love that.
What do you got over there, Randy? I don't know if you noticed, Emily, I increased the font as we're all getting older now. We need bigger fonts.
I like how big the font is.
If you could teleport for 10 minutes, you'd go. I'd go to Kingston and see my oldest son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 18. He's
Oh my God.
graduating pretty soon.
That's so nice.
What does he want to do? Does he know yet?
An arborist, he's been talking about doing, which is, I
Wow.
think, into. I don't actually know a lot about it. You guys seem to know more than I do about it.
Arborists, they take care of the trees and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's something he's expressed interest in, and he's really into fitness and he's got the brains.
Smart boy.
Yeah, so
That's so sweet.
Awesome.
I can't think of a sweet answer. I can't top that. 10 minutes. Where would I go?
You're teleporting too, so you don't have to travel. Remember, you can just be there.
I could just be there. I'd go somewhere warm for 10 minutes.
Stand there like,
Just in the sun.
Alex?
Yeah, it's not long enough. You'd have withdrawal.
Yeah,
quickly.
that's true.
Yeah. So I don't know, but for 10 minutes, I suppose I'd want to plant, I'm a journalist, I'd want to plant myself in a room, you know, some deal is being done or somebody's being fired or, you know, something in my world where I get that 10 minutes of being in the room of the proverbial fly on the wall. You know, there's a politician recently who took down her personal Facebook page here in Newfoundland, and she's a big personality, but is kind of learning the ropes and being in that room for the conversation if it's time to take your Facebook page down, would have been an interesting one. I don't want to pick on her, so I won't name her, but something like that as a journalist, get a little 10-minute teleportation, I'd take that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, I think I'd like to get teleported somewhere where I could fall for 10 minutes straight, and then I'd be teleported out of the falling experience.
That's
I'd be
horrific.
Falling for 10 minutes, but knowing that I'm not going to
very
land or
sick.
crash anywhere. I'm just falling for 10 minutes.
That's a great psychedelic answer.
Yeah. Just playing with fate there.
Did you pass that along there, Emily?
Where could you fall for 10 minutes?
I don't know. I'd have to... You'd have to look it up. We didn't say just on this earth or even in this reality.
Could be
Like, could be
anywhere.
anywhere, right?
Yeah, falling from
Looney
space.
Tunes.
Sure, I've had dreams where I felt like I was falling for like 10 minutes.
Right?
Definitely.
Thankfully, I didn't like land. Just woke up.
I don't have it so much now, but when I was younger, I used to have, I have had it, small periods of it when I was older, but I had Alice in Wonderland disorder, which I forget what the real name of it is, but it's a disorder that the guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland had, where you lose like sense of time and size and in spatial stuff. So like I'd feel like my teeth were giant, or
You had that?
I'd feel like I'm up in the corner of an arena and like looking at a big dark empty arena that's humongous, and I'm like a tiny
way.
fly kind of thing. I had it when I was a kid, and I'd be up all night with it and not know what it was, obviously. And the night would seem like 1,000 years.
That's
And
insane. I didn't know that.
And then I kind of forgot about it. And then when I was about 10 years ago, maybe, I had a really stressful day about something. And that night I had an incident of it. And I thought I was having a heart attack or something. And then, but now I had a phone and I could look it up. And I looked it up. And like, once I saw what it was, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
That's wild.
Hey,
Wow.
find me, please.
Amazing. Your superpower would only, no, I don't like, never mind. I don't like that one.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. You can throw them away. You don't like them. I don't know. That's a stupid one too.
He likes throwing them away.
The animal you absolutely do not want on your team is. The animal that you would not want on your team is, can't get that ostrich in my team with his head in the ground. I'm trying to make things happen, and the ostrich is putting his head
What
in
kind
the
of
ground.
team is it?
Why? Well, the best team.
The best in the world.
No ostriches, that's for sure. It's a weird question.
It is.
Kudos, AI.
He's like a weird animal.
So the sloth looks like he has a great life. I don't want him on my
Yeah, it's true.
team.
Yeah, that's fair.
Marches to the beat of his
I hang out
drum
with
a
him.
little.
I hang out with him
Yeah.
for sure.
I feel like anything that would just instinctively eat you, I don't want on my team. Yeah.
But
It's like you could have a bear on your team, but how does the bear know he's on my team?
I guess so. But maybe different colored jerseys. I think it's how.
It's like, oh, yellow, I'm not going to eat her.
That's how the human bears figure it out. I think we
Yeah.
put different uniforms on them before we throw them in the arenas.
That's fair. That's fair.
Randy?
I was going to say honey badger, but I don't think I'd want an alligator on my side.
Yeah.
I'll take an alligator
Yeah.
for that question.
Mama says alligators are orny because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. It's a Waterboy joke.
I love the water boy. Actually, whenever I take a sip of water, I'm like, oh, it's quality H2O. And then nobody ever gets it.
All right. Well, that's about all the time we have this evening. A big thank you to Alex, Bill, and Randy Matthews for joining us. We'll get you to sign the flyer after, and we'll put it on the autograph wall. And here's your guest gifts. You want to take one and pass the other one down along. This is volume 3 of our zine, which is pages from my 1996 high school agenda. This one covers the day that I skipped school and went to the Avalon Mall in 1995 and had a disposable camera and told people I worked for the Telegram, and I was doing an essay on people working at the mall and took their pictures and developed them for some reason and put them in my agenda, and now you got a book with them.
That's still what they do at the Telegram.
Pretty much what they do at the Telegram. Yeah. And it's just Stitches is in there. I don't know if you remember Stitches, but I used to buy all my shirts at Stitches.
I wonder, did they like wait? Do you know what I mean? Were they like checking the paper? To be like,
I was like, oh, Dad, I'm going to be in the paper tomorrow.
yeah, this guy came and took our picture.
And then there's in the middle of there's a little QR code you can scan. It'll take you to a little web app that has a bunch of songs Emily's played on the show.
Right on.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us.
Yeah,
for having
thank
me.
you.
Next week, we'll be joined by TV and film actor Eliza King. It's going to be a lot of fun. And musically, Brandon Hodder will stop by to play us a few tunes. Until then, for Alex, Randy, Emily, and myself, I'm the Hulkster. Thanks for watching The Hulk Caesar Show.